Okay, let's review constructors. Let's create a new file. We're going to call it public class driver. So we're going to go back to the car analogy. We'll add a main method. We'll just be using simple print statements. And then let's create a new subclass, or another class. We'll call it Ferrari. And this one won't have any main methods. We'll create instead just a simple method to get us started. Accelerate, like we used before. System.println vroom, since it goes so fast. And we'll save that. Compile that one. And then back in my driver one, let's say we'll create an object from it. We'll call it my 458, Ferrari 458. I think that's a type of Ferrari that I saw on Top Gear. Is equal to new Ferrari. And we're going to pass over its color. And Ferraris, I believe, though, only come in one color. I don't like that lowercase, so I'm going to put it in a sentence. And then we're going to break out my 458.accelerate. I'm going to get rid of this really quickly because we haven't specified that it needs one yet. There we go, vroom. So say we wanted to specify its color as red. When we go here in Ferrari, we need to create a constructor. Once again, that's going to be public Ferrari, same as the class name. And we have to be prepared to bring something in. So we'll call it string color. That's what it's going to receive. So we need curly braces. Now what's interesting about receiving this is that this is a local variable. So we're sending over a color. We can name this whatever we want as long as it's a string. You could call it X or something like that. If we add our own string color already set up here, we could make this global color equal to this local one by using this keyword. This color is equal to color. So that would take red in from when it's passed over as a parameter, take it and put it in with the current color that's there. If we had just renamed this as X, that would work as well. But if you'd rather keep variable names the same, that's one way of doing it. So, and you don't need to use color, as I said. This could just be a parameter or param. Either one will work. So I can put this to use by saying my Ferrari goes vroom. Compile that and execute it. My red Ferrari goes vroom. So the default color. If you wanted to change colors, or have a second one, my Enzo, I think that was another one. Say it got in a wreck, or the Rowdies purchased one. You could have it Regis red. So we can have two objects of the same type, both Ferraris, but notice that our objects have some different characteristics based on that constructor. So my red Ferrari goes vroom, and my Regis red one goes vroom as well. They have to stay red. Now, in the previous example, I talked about how we can override constructors by having multiple ones. So we could have a second one of this as long as it had different parameters. So what's also really cool is we have this method accelerate here. We can also override methods. So you can have more than one method. And in some of the stuff we do, this doesn't necessarily apply. It's when things get much more complex. So we can have two accelerate methods, but if one's going to accept a string, or maybe an integer, if it has different sort of parameters, the computer will know which one to pick. So we're going to talk about how fast it goes. So we'll brag about how fast ours can go. So it can go so many miles per hour. Compile that. Shouldn't get an error because even though we don't have a method call with that parameter, it won't cause an error because we're not trying to call it yet. So maybe we'll throw in that our Enzo can do 205. Now if we compile this, not only are we going to get these two different constructors, we're going to access two different accelerate methods. It's kind of stuff you need to know in college. So let's try this out. All right, so the same method, same constructor, four different things here. We got red, Regis red, vroom, and 205 miles per hour. So that's a simple version of overriding, or method over, I think they call it overloading, with multiple methods and multiple constructors.